Rob with Taco Tunes. Thanks for coming back and checking out another one of our videos. Today we're going to be looking at our new product. It's called the ReCurve EZQ. A lot of you guys are aware over the last 7 years here at Taco Tunes we've been developing products specifically for Toyotas. I should say audio products. Everyone always asks, what the heck is Taco Tunes? Well, originally we started producing products for Tacomas, and a lot of people call them tacos. So over the past 7 years, we've expanded into Toyota Tundras, Camrys, Highlanders, pretty much just about every Toyota that's being made, from probably about 05 and up. So be sure to check out all of our products specifically for your Toyota. Anyhow, during that time frame, we've had a lot of people ask us, man, I'd really like to add an amp or amplifiers to my Toyota, but I'm not really sure how to, but I want to keep my stock head unit. And we used to tell everybody, man, it's really not a good idea to keep the stock head unit. You've got a lot of challenges to overcome. And today what we're actually going to do is we're going to show you how to overcome the challenges and add an amplifier or amps to your stock head unit. So what I'm going to do is, let me see, I guess I should probably explain. There's 3 different challenges in adding an amplifier to your stock head unit. The first one is a physical challenge. The second one is the audio frequency has been altered on in the head unit. And the third one is you've got to deal with wiring, color codes, schematics, all kinds of stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just kind of rearrange here and then address each of the challenges and then show you how we can overcome them so you guys can add an amp to your stock head unit. Alright, so I'm going to pause here. I'm going to sort of move some stuff around and then we'll address each of the challenges. Alright guys, did some rearranging. Here we're looking at the backside of a stock Toyota head unit. This right here is actually an aftermarket, a little Pioneer head unit. It's a nice little head unit. And I'm going to explain, or I'm going to basically, I'm going to explain challenge number 1. Okay, challenge number 1 was a physical challenge. Okay, so if you, let me see how to explain this. I'm going to take this this is going to be real basic. For you guys that are, I'm going to switch gears here a little bit. For you guys that are pretty familiar on how this all works, you probably just want to jump to the installation videos. I'm going to try and keep this real basic for the guys that are kind of new to this. So again, if you know what you're doing, jump ahead. If not, I'm going to try and keep it real basic, so I'm going to go slow. So anyhow, alright, so what we've got here is, we're looking at an amplifier. This is a really nice amplifier from Exile Audio. It's a 5-channel amp. And you'll notice that we've got RCA inputs here. On the back of this aftermarket Pioneer unit, we've got RCA outputs. So the physical challenge that we're faced with right now is how do I get signal from here to here? Well, in an aftermarket head unit, it's pretty easy because they come with these RCAs or RCA plugs, and then you're going to use a cable kind of similar to this. This is a really neat wire, really neat cable from Stinger. This is a 6-channel RCA cable, and all a channel means is your right speaker is one channel, your left speaker is another channel. And this happens to be labeled front, rear, and subwoofer. And back here on the back of this stock head unit, or I'm sorry, this aftermarket head unit, you've got a front right speaker, a front left speaker. So here we've got a front, right, and left. So all we simply do is plug in the front right, the front left, and then the same thing for the rear. Oops, grabbing the wrong ones. Grab this one here, it's the rear. The red, it's marked here red. And I plug in here. So, and what this is doing is this is going to deliver a low voltage signal to the amplifier. So you get a lot cleaner signal coming from here than if we were getting the signal off the speaker wires. And again, let me plug this last one in. Gosh, I can't see it. There we go. Okay, now the other side of the cable has the same, the other side of the RCA would plug into the amplifier over here. I won't bore you with plugging them in. So now we've got signal coming from here to here, and we can take that signal and amplify it and have a really nice sound system. So the physical challenge is, how do we get from here? I don't have, there's no RCA cables or RCA plugs on the back of this unit, so how do I get the signal from here to here? That's our first challenge. Okay, the second challenge is the audio frequency. We have a really cool video on this. So, a lot of people kind of tend to get scared when we start talking audio frequency and crossovers, and if you guys follow this whole installation routine, by the end of the installation, you'll know probably 95, 98% of what you need to get it all done. All right, so anyhow, Toyota, like a lot of other manufacturers, have what's the word? They've detuned the system. And most people ask me, what the heck does detune mean, Rob? Well, detune means that if you look at the stock speaker, you'll notice this is a pretty common speaker in a lot of the newer Toyotas. You're going to see this in just quite a few of them. The Camrys, the Tundras, the Tacomas, the Highlanders. There's quite a few of them. I'm not going to go through all of them, but anyhow, the problem is if you look at the speaker, it's very, very low end. I mean, a lot of car manufacturers use really cheap speakers, and the problem with that is, if you try and apply a lower frequency like bass, this speaker won't be able to handle that amount, the lower bass notes. So at higher volumes, it will tend to distort. So what Toyota and a lot of other manufacturers do is they reduce the bass coming to here, so that way you can still turn the volume up on your speaker and on your stereo. Your speaker can produce some sound, but it won't distort. The same thing, notice there's no real tweeter in here. So they detune the highs, or they bring the highs down, and the reason they do that again is because the speaker can't produce that sound. So the challenge becomes, now you're trying to send signal from here to an amplifier. So if you start off with a crappy signal here, you're going to end up with a crappy signal here, and even on your new speakers, you're not going to get the full output range that you're looking for. So that's our second challenge, is the audio frequency range has been detuned or has been adjusted. All right, now the third challenge, let me see, I'm going to pause here for a second and I'll grab me some water, and then I'll hit the third challenge. Alright, here you're looking at the back of your stock head unit. Here, what we've done is we're mimicking your Toyota. Here you're looking at some stock wiring that you'd see in your inside of your vehicle. And I guess I should explain. This right here is a music box that we've put together. And what I mean by music box is it's actually on 4 wheels. We've got an internal battery, a subwoofer, speakers. It's basically a rolling music box that we take to the river. We're taking this music box, we're mimicking the inside of your Toyota, so that way we can show you how this all ties together. Okay, so here you're looking at the stock wiring that's inside your in your Toyota. And I'll go ahead and plug this in. Alright, so when you're looking at the back of when you're inside your truck or car or whatever, and you're looking inside or in the back side of the head unit, you're going to find these 2 plugs. So challenge number 3. How the heck am I going to get the signal that I need from here to there? Well, in the past, what you'd have to do, most people would have to cut all this open, start digging through the wires and trying to figure out, geez, which color is which. Have to figure out, okay, am I going to strip this? So they'd strip the wire away, solder it, then they'd have to make extensions and all kinds of crazy stuff. What you might end up with is something like this. This particular case, instead of soldering, this person used a bunch of taps. And the problem with taps are that the taps tend to come loose, and then you end up with flaky signal over time. For this type of setup, soldering is usually the best bet. But again, who wants to sit there and solder and cut and splice for hours, and then hopefully, hoping you have the correct color code selected? So that's our third challenge, is how am I going to get the signal from here to there and figure out all these colors, all these color and wiring codes. Alright, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pause here, make a couple of adjustments again, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to overcome each of these challenges to help you get your amplifier hooked up to your stock head unit. Alright, we're back. In case you're wondering, I had to plug in the charger. I didn't realize the battery inside the box was dying, so it's been sitting here for a while. I haven't used it in a long time. Anyhow, here we're looking at the stock head unit in a 2014 Toyota Tundra. This particular unit is the Intune Plus with navigation. So it's got a bunch of the apps. It's got a lot of really cool features. The only problem is that it just doesn't produce really good sound. So what I'm going to do for the 2014 Tundra, I'm going to show you how to overcome the three challenges we're faced with, or that we've discussed earlier in the video. So, and then I want to overcome the three challenges and be able to add an amplifier to this to my stock head unit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically flip this around like this, and I'm going to plug in wires again. And what we're doing is I want to make sure that this is just like your truck. So here, it should, yeah, it's not, I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if you can see it there. It fires up. So right now, basically, we're back to a stock setup in your truck. You know, for all intents and purposes, we're demonstrating if this was sitting inside your truck. So I'm going to flip this around again. And now, how am I going to get the signal out of here to there? Well, this is where the ReCurve wiring system comes in. We have the ReCurve wiring system that ties into the ReCurve. So let me move this forward here. And then let me grab these. Alright, now before I pop these in here, I don't want you guys to get intimidated because it looks pretty scary at first for you new guys. Alright, let me move this forward a little bit. Okay. Here you're looking at the wiring system for the ReCurve. And the reason that there's such big long bundles are there's about 20 foot of leads here, so you can mount the ReCurve just about anywhere you want in your Tundra. So how does this all work? Well, check this out. It's really cool and easy. All you've got to do is you unplug here, unplug the 10 pin, unplug the 6 pin, and in case you haven't seen it, let me get a close up. You pinch these here and you pull them out. And sometimes they can be a little bit of a booger. So anyhow, you take the wiring from the ReCurve. This happens to be the 10 pin. I'm going to plug the wire into here. Then I'm going to plug the stock wire into here. And then I'm going to do the same with my 6 pin, which I dropped. Okay, so here's the 6 pin. Plug this into here. Plug this into here. And now what we've done is we have access to the signal that we need for the to feed to the amplifier. These wires are going to run to the ReCurve, and I'll show you the ReCurve itself in just a second. So what we've done, which is really cool, we've got the signal we need, but as you can tell, we did no wire cutting, splicing, or anything. Saves you a ton of time, makes it really easy. And another cool thing is when you're done with, let's say, I don't know, let's say you have the truck for a couple of years and you want to go to the newer version, you can undo all this, put it back to stock, and you don't have to worry about, you don't have to worry, you didn't cut anything, you didn't splice anything, everything goes right back into place. Alright, so we're going to flip this around and you can see the unit's back on. So at this point, all you've done is pull the head unit out, and of course we've got a video on that. You've put the wiring system in place, and now we're going to take these long cables, and then I'm going to show you how they tie back to the ReCurve, and then I guess I've got to show you the ReCurve now. Alright, so I'm going to pause here again, make a couple of adjustments, and then crack open the ReCurve. Alright guys, here you're looking at the ReCurve EZQ. This particular unit is our 3rd version. Man, we've been working on this thing for about 3 years. Finally got it the way we like it, and it's ready to be shipped out. Finally. I guess what I'll do is I'll kind of give you a quick overview on it, and then show you how show you how it all works. Okay, first off, what we're going to do is on this side we have the inputs, and what I mean by inputs, we're going to take the output from the head unit, we plug it into here, and then the ReCurve filters the signal coming through here. We make adjustments here, and then on this side this goes out to the amp. Now it all might seem a little intimidating, but we'll send you a template, or we'll put a template online for your particular vehicle. So all these knobs will come pre-adjusted, and then you guys can sort of adjust them as you need, and it's actually going to be pretty easy. Some of you guys might be intimidated. Don't be, it's really easy. We made it super easy because, one, you don't have to hook it up to your PC and worry if it's going to work with your PC or your Mac. The other thing is, we've made it to where you don't lose any of the functionality in your head unit. Everything works just like it did before, except now you have great sound because we're taking the signal coming off the back of the head unit, feeding it into here, we're fixing the audio frequency range, and then we're fixing the physical challenge by providing RCA outputs that go to the amplifier. So here we've made this super easy for you guys, where there's no more cutting, splicing, nothing. And then instead of just, in the past, some people would use what you call a line out converter. The problem with a line out converter is it can't fix the signal coming from here to there. So you might end up with a loud stereo, but it doesn't sound right. What this does is it allows you to adjust those frequencies, and again, we'll help you get this set up. We'll send you a template, and then we'll explain what each of these knobs do in the installation videos, and then you actually can tune it. You know, I want a little more bass, I want a little less bass, or I want, you know, more highs. So we'll actually, in an installation video, we're going to actually walk you through setting all this up. So what I'm going to do, just for the sake of the video and just the introduction, I'm going to take another EZQ that's all wired up, and then I'm going to basically show you how it all plugs in, and that's pretty much it. So if you're interested in purchasing the product, obviously we have it online. Make sure you're going to need to make sure you specify the year and the model of your Toyota, and then we'll make sure to send you the correct harness. Now, this is one thing I need to be sure you guys are aware of. If you have the JBL setup, that's the upgraded aftermarket kit from Toyota. You need to let us know. Right now, you have to use a totally different harness or a totally different setup. So if you have the JBL and you don't let us know, it's not going to work for you. Great thing is not that many, or the great thing for us, I guess, is not that many people are using the JBL setup. So if you don't have the JBL, great. This will be a lot easier than if you do have the JBL. The JBL requires a few extra steps. So again, just to summarize, from the head unit, we gained access to the signal with the ReCurve wiring system. It feeds into the EZQ here. We adjust the signal here, and then it goes out to the amp. So I'm going to just readjust here. I'm going to have one all plugged in, ready to roll, and then I'll show you guys how it ties together. All right, so I'm going to pause here. All right, to summarize and sort of close out the video here, we've got the stock head unit, the ReCurve wiring system, and then you saw earlier how we get the signal. Now here you're looking at the wires actually plugged into the unit. This side is used for the power. This side is the speaker input. So what the ReCurve is doing is it's taking the signal from the head unit, cleaning it up here, and then here we're overcoming again, we're overcoming the audio frequency challenge, and here we're overcoming the physical challenge, because now we've got outputs, RCA outputs, to the amplifier. So in a nutshell, what we've done is we've overcome every single obstacle that we've always seen and have tried to avoid by, you know, we've had a lot of customers say, hey, I really want to add an amplifier. Well, in the past, all you could do is something like this. Let me see, I think I have one up here. It is. You could take what they call a line out converter, and it's kind of similar to this almost. However, the only function that this thing can do is you can only boost or reduce the signal, the overall signal. You can't adjust the frequency or the frequencies that need to be adjusted. You want to be able to have the frequencies match all the way across the board, and as we mentioned earlier, the subwoofer frequencies have been lowered and the tweeter frequencies have been lowered. So what we need to do is we want to match all those frequencies across the board, so we feed a good clean signal to the amplifier, and in the end we end up with really good sound system. The problem in the past, like I said, is with a line out converter you can't fix those flat areas. So you'd end up with a loud system, but then it just didn't sound right. It'd sound muffled, or the bass would sound, just funky. So again, this unit takes care of all that. We've addressed every challenge. We've made it super easy, super fast, and if you look at our installation videos, we'll actually help you get this all set up in your vehicle. But anyhow, I could keep babbling and rambling, but I won't. So you can tell I'm pretty excited about it. So anyway, be sure to check out the installation videos. Don't forget to check out our other products for your Toyota. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, all that good social media stuff, because that way you can keep up on latest products. We actually have a new product coming out soon that I'm pretty excited about as well. And again, it's geared, you know, it's strictly audio products. So anyhow, be sure you subscribe and keep up with us, because we got a lot of cool stuff coming. Thanks again for taking the time. I apologize for all the rambling, and we're out.